Aldous.
Thank you very much, Madam Deputy Speaker. It's a pleasure to follow the member for Innismong. In 2018, a community-led group came together to produce a long-term strategy for the fishing industry in East Anglia. The Reef Report, that's the Renaissance of East Anglian Fisheries, was launched in Parliament on 17th October last year. The report concludes that there is an exciting future for a local industry which has declined dramatically in the past 40 years, but that there is a great deal of work to do. My interest is to ensure that this bill provides the framework within which to deliver reef. On the whole, it does. The bill is by no means perfect, though it is an improvement on its predecessor from the last Parliament. It's been said by some that at present the bill is a picture frame without a painting, and that there is a need for government to articulate a compelling vision for a revitalised fishing industry, both leading the world in marine conservation and promoting the revitalisation of our coastal communities. It may well be that this is what lies behind the amendments put forward by the opposition. I can understand why the Honourable Member for Plymouth, Sutton and Devonport and his colleagues have tabled them, and I do have some concerns of my own, which hopefully the Minister will address. However, on the whole, I don't think these amendments are necessary, and we do need to get on with delivering this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to revitalise our fishing industry, which can bring so many benefits to coastal communities all around the UK. Amendment 2 seeks to make the sustainability objective a prime fisheries objective. I can understand the rationale for this amendment, but of the 8 objectives, 6 of them already relate to the environment. 1 of them provides for equal access to UK boats to any area within British fisheries limits, and the other seeks to ensure that the fishing brings social and economic benefits to UK communities. There is thus already a clear emphasis in the bill on the vital importance of sustainability. There is an alternative view that we're in danger of having too many objectives, and that there should be just one straightforward duty to prudently manage a public asset using sound science. However, as it stands, the bill provides a very clear direction of travel, and it should be noted that the Reef Report has recommendations based on the feedback from those working in the industry which have sustainability at their core. I have much sympathy with the intention behind Amendment 1, as one of the main purposes of having a fishing industry is to provide jobs and to bring benefits to local communities, to support the whole supply chain from the net to the plate, and not just to support those fishermen who sell their fish directly abroad. To address this concern, the government should be putting in place those policies and funding streams that will enable us to deliver meaningful social and economic benefits to coastal communities. This requires a review of the economic link, and I thus welcome the consultation on proposals to strengthen this condition and to increase the economic benefit. There's also the need to invest in infrastructure, in ports and in processing plants. And it's good news that the bill contains provisions that allow ministers to set up new grants and new funding streams. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, time is marching on. The transition period ends in 2.5 months on 31st December, and the industry needs to start planning for what can be a new and exciting future. We need the detail of what will replace the European Maritime and Fisheries Fund. What will be the role of LEPs? In Suffolk and Norfolk, the New Anglia LEP are fully engaged in reef, but their remit needs to be clarified. Reference has been made to the Coastal Communities Fund and the role that it can play, but its terms of reference need to be changed. The commitment to invest in port infrastructure is welcome, but this does cross the boundaries of other departments, including the Department of Housing, Communities and Local Government and the Department for Transport. The latter is currently focusing on this issue, and I'd be grateful if the Minister could advise as to what discussions her department has had with these other departments. Amendment 3 aims to prohibit fishing in English waters by boats longer than 100 metres, so-called super trawlers. This is in line with the reef recommendation, which actually went further to ban beam trawling, including electro-pulse fishing, which has caused so much devastation off the East Anglian coast. Again, I understand why the opposition have tabled this amendment, but it shouldn't be necessary for them to do this, as with control of our own waters back in our own hands, the government are able to put a stop to this immediately. It is good news that they've legislated that foreign pulse beam trawlers would not be permitted to operate in UK waters after 31st December, and that they have given notice to the 4 English registered vessels that their authorisations will be withdrawn at the same time. I urge the Scottish Government to do likewise for their single pulse trawler. Studies have shown that pulse fishing has had a devastating impact on cod in the southern North Sea, and thus I welcome Government Amendment 55, which allows the UK to adopt its own measures with regard to the catching of cod in the North Sea. This should help restore stocks, so insofar as it is possible to do so, taking into account the impact of climate change. Madam Deputy Speaker, the bill is not perfect in that it draws attention to loopholes that need to be plugged and provokes questions that need to be answered. But, as a framework bill, it is more or less fit for purpose, and we do now need to get on with putting in place those policies and those initiatives that will arise out of it, that will revitalise the UK fishing industry, not just in Lowestoft, not just in East Anglia, but all around the UK. Thank you.
David Amos.
The report stage of this bill is an historic moment for our country, one that I have long sought to see. As someone who voted no in the first referendum and leave in the second referendum,